Dog at the welterweight division, and he gotta take a back seat and take that 60-40 or 70-30, wherever we give him.
If we fight, it's going to be either 70-30, 80-20. Was that?
Man, I was when I said
posturing or what was that?
When did I say that?
You know, that was.
Yeah, I said it on my girl Instagram. What's going? But I was playing. Hey, man, nobody taking no 80-20, 70-30. Yeah, I was playing. I was like, because I was like, it's gonna be 60-40, and I was like, yeah, he keep playing crazy. It's gonna be 70-30 or 80-20. But yeah, I was playing. Like, I wasn't serious about that, man. Like, people can't take jokes.
I was fooling y'all. Those was jokes.
Man, sit your ass down.
And really, I respect a lot of people. I respect Errol, because in my eyes, we live the same life.
So what I do, YouTube? It's your boy King David in this thing, and I'm back at y'all again with another video. Okay, so before we get going on the video, man, y'all know what to do. Go ahead, hit the like button. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe one time for your boy, so we can continue to grow like we need to grow on this channel, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Alright, so with all that out the window, man, y'all see what the title of the video is, man. Keith Thurman, bro. Keith Thurman. Look, man, Keith Thurman is literally saying that Errol Spence should be glad that he ducked him all them years. Errol should be glad for the wonderful gift that Keith Thurman bestowed upon his life by ducking him all that time, right? I mean, according to Keith Thurman, he did Errol a favor, right? He did Errol a favor in ducking him all them years, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, and Errol should be grateful. But don't take my word for it, y'all. Take a listen to Keith Thurman say what should be unbelievable and inconceivable to anybody with a lick of goddamn sense. But check it out.
The truth is, Errol, you should thank me. If I fought you when you called me out, when you was nobody, you got paid nobody money. You fight Keith Thurman today, you make more money than Keith Thurman. So I think wherever Keith Thurman is, you should probably thank him. Wherever he is, you should probably say thanks, champ. You know?
Man, just when I thought I've heard it all. just when you think you've heard it all. Motherfucker come behind you and prove to you that you haven't. Keith Thurman says Errol Spence should be lucky. He should be lucky he ducked him all them years. Unbelievable, inconceivable. Who would have ever thought it? I can't believe I'm here actually defending Errol Spence in any capacity, considering the fact that he's the biggest duck in professional boxing. But for Keith Thurman to come out and say something like this is crazy. And I just want to say that I'm a Keith Thurman fan first and foremost, right? When Keith Thurman was coming up, when he unified the belts, he beat Danny and he beat Sean, I was rocking with Keith Thurman all them years, right? I think Keith Thurman is still a good welterweight. I think he needs to, get more active, but he's a good welterweight. But for him to say some shit like this is just unbelievable to the seventh power, and I am outraged. I'm outraged to the third degree that this man would have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to come out of his mouth and say that Errol Spence should be lucky that he ducked him all them years. Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. Right? The first thing that pops into my mind when I hear this shit is, who's to say that Errol Spence wouldn't have been a bigger star had he not fought you when you were supposed to fight him? Right? I mean, who's to say that? Right? As a matter of fact, he probably would be a bigger star had he had a Keith Thurman name on his resume. He would have cemented him as the #1 guy in the welterweight division. right? Because right now, that number one guy shit is all in question at this particular point in time because Errol has yet to fight a number one guy at welterweight. Point blank period in discussion. Didn't fight Pacquiao, didn't fight Thurman, only fought the leftovers, the Dannys, the Shawns, and the Kell Brooks at the end of the goddamn day, right? Those are just the facts. The fanboys ain't gonna like it, but those are the facts, right? But all that being said, right? All that being said, who's to say that Errol wouldn't have been a bigger star had he had a Keith Thurman name on his resume? So what you're saying right now, it just makes zero sense, right? What you're saying right now just makes zero sense. But aside from that, right? I can't help but point out what should be the obvious because y'all saw the clip that I played at the very beginning of the video, right? Where Keith Thurman was comparing himself to Errol Spence. As a matter of fact, he said that me and Errol live the same life.
In my eyes, we live the same life.
And you know what? I couldn't agree more. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't agree more that Keith Thurman and Errol Spence live the same life, right? If you think back to the time that Keith Thurman was ducking Errol Spence, you think about all the things that he was saying, the fact that he had a to-do list and, you know, Errol Spence wasn't an immediate priority. And then you think to what Errol Spence said to Bud Crawford years ago, that he needed to take the easy route first, right? Before he got in the ring with a Terrence Bud Crawford, or when Keith Thurman realized Errol Spence was coming up in the weight division and Keith Thurman said the kid need to get a belt first, which is the exact same thing Errol told Bud that he needed to get a belt first in order for him to get in the ring with, right? You think back to all the injuries and the inactivity and the lapses Keith Thurman had over his career, very similar to all the inactivity and the lapses and the car crashes and the eye injuries and everything going on with Errol Spence Jr. I gotta say that these two niggas, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, are two peas in a bitch ass pod right now, right? That's how I'm looking at this shit right now. And honestly and truly, I'm just wondering when we're gonna hear Errol Spence say that Bud should be glad that he was ducking them all them years. I'm just waiting for Errol Spence to say the same shit that Keith Thurman said, because clearly these niggas are following the same path, right? Clearly they're simpatico, right? They following the same path. They shadows of each other. They feeding off each other energy, clearly, right? So I'm just looking to see when that actually is gonna happen, because once again, bro, Errol Spence and Keith Thurman are very similar in their approach to duck, dodge, and maneuver their way away from the top quality competition in and or around their weight division, right?
I know that.
And I say all that to say this. Although Keith Thurman completely and utterly embarrassed himself by saying the reckless, goofy shit that he said as far as him, Errol being lucky that he ducked him for all these years, although that is an embarrassing thing for Keith Thurman to say, it's equally embarrassing for Errol Spence, being the fact that him and Keith Thurman are so similar as far as the way they handle their career when it comes to duck, dodging, and maneuvering their way out of top quality competition. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the video up right here, man. Let me know what your thoughts is, bro. Hit it up in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit the goddamn like button on your way out. But until next time, bro, I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. Peace.